There might be sometimes you want to represent, for example, computer code on your web page. Now, the thing with computer code is it has to be rendered in a particular way so that it's easily readable. Now, in my code, I have this code here, which is actually a Java code. By now, you know that I like Java. So we have this Java code that is indented and has a particular structure. But like we know HTML, that wouldn't work because when it is rendered on the web page, it is just going to be rendered as a plain text, one after the other. Now, if I show you this, or even if you show a Java developer, that might not be so pleasant to read, especially when it's longer. The first thing we can do is to surround this with the code element. Now, what the code element does is to mark it up or mark up generic pieces of computer code. So it gives it a particular look. It might not be the end because we still need to touch it a little bit, but it will be a little bit of improvement. So let's go over to the web page. Voila. Now it's marked up to show that, hey, this is computer code. So don't render it as a plain text. Now, what else is remaining? What is remaining now is that we want to retain our white space and structure, the code block, as it was in the code. Because what it's doing now, it is rendering everything in one line. To preserve the space, I'm going to surround everything by the pre-element. So what this does is to retain the white spaces and indentations. Normally the browser will ignore indentations, but this will preserve everything so that once you go to the web page, you see it as it was in the HTML code. So everything is preserved. And there you have it, our code. You have some other elements like var that we use to mark up variable names and SAMP that we use to mark up outputs. So let's say we have a text and we want to signify that is moving is a variable. All we need to do is to surround it within the var element. So that will render it in a particular way. We can also have an element that helps with rendering computer outputs. So let's say you have a code and you want to show that this is the output of the code. You surround it with the SAMP element. This will render it to show that, hey, this isn't plain text. This is actually an output. So they're all rendered in this code format. So go around, play around with this. You might not need this so often or even at all, but it's good to know this and keep it in your arsenal.